You may not believe it, but this is the scariest train station I've ever seen. Out of nowhere, a strange sound came from the train tunnel. The unsettling sound grew stronger. The objects flew up into the air. Sebastian, a guy in the crowd, sensed something off. He was just about to turn around and leave, but it was already too late. People near the tunnel are affected by the eerie sound. They are visibly transformed by it. Even their eyes start to change colors. They started hurling themselves onto the train tracks. As the train approached, they moved toward it as if they were captivated by it. In the chaos, Sebastian nearly tumbled onto the tracks but miraculously kept his balance, narrowly avoiding disaster. Exiting the train station, he was met with a chaotic scene as everyone dashed for safety. Concerned for his daughter's well-being, he headed straight to her school to find her. In the principal's office, shock set in as he discovered the principal's lifeless body on the podium. Understanding the gravity of the situation, he swiftly exited the office. He soon located his daughter, Anna, who was hidden in her classroom with her friend. He wasted no time leaving the school, but an explosion at the gate added more to the dangerous situation. Realizing that witnessing certain things transform people, he shielded Anna's eyes with his coat as they made their way home. He reunited with his wife, but their joy did not last longer. Tragedy struck as a sudden car accident claimed his wife in an instant. After a few days, there was no human left on Earth. Those lucky enough to be alive already knew how to defend themselves. It turned out that since the mysterious energy source invaded the Earth, everyone who saw it would automatically commit suicide, so they were forced to cover their eyes. The disaster engulfs Barcelona and consumes the entire city. Sebastian remains by Anna's side, both wearing blacked-out goggles to shield themselves from the mysterious threat. They cautiously leave their shelter to hunt for basic necessities amidst the city's ruins. However, the streets paint a grim picture, with corpses hanging from bridges. As they tread carefully, they hear some voices nearby. 3 men and a woman are making their way home, carrying a cart of groceries. Sebastian seeks their help. A man named Marcial initially apologizes for being unable to assist. However, he changes his mind upon learning that Sebastian is an engineer at a construction company and knows how to access generators. In exchange for this valuable information, the group agrees to aid Sebastian. Meanwhile, Sebastian instructs his daughter to remain hidden until he ensures the newcomers pose no threat. Suddenly, the wind picks up, signaling impending danger and putting everyone on high alert. Without delay, they promptly head home, with Sebastian trailing behind. As they enter a warehouse which serves as their refuge, Marcial guides Sebastian. He explains the diverse skills available among their group: a doctor, a carpenter, and a mechanic. Dr. Liliana tends to Sebastian's wounds and offers a hot meal during dinner. Later that night, as everyone sleeps in the bus, Sebastian sneaks out and steals the key. Returning to the bus, he locks himself in the driver's seat. When Dr. Liliana awakens to the noise, she's confused to find Sebastian attempting to start the bus. Desperate to intervene, she tries to open the door. However, Sebastian has already secured it. As the bus engine starts, he seals the door, sparking panic. Liliana quickly rouses the others to address the situation. However, before they can react, Sebastian successfully starts the vehicle. Liliana attempts to break the driver's seat door with a mini hammer, but nothing works. Meanwhile, Marcial manages to break the door and does his best to stop Sebastian from driving. However, all his efforts are in vain, as Sebastian manages to take the bus outside the warehouse. The bus collides with another wreck, causing it to tilt over and crash. As Sebastian emerges from the vehicle, a whirlwind ensues. It turns out that he was indeed under the influence of the creature. Witnessing the entity, Marcial picks up a broken glass and ends his own life. Meanwhile, Liliana exits the bus but keeps her eyes shut to avoid encountering the entity. Sebastian approaches her and forcefully opens her eyes. Upon exposure, she succumbs to the creature's influence. With a chilling smile, she heads towards the bus's moving tire and takes her own life. Sebastian can see the entity, but it is only using him to kill people. Another person sets himself on fire as Sebastian stands, smiling. Anna then appears and informs him that he has saved those people. She refers to them as lost sheep, and Sebastian as their shepherd. When Sebastian inquires about joining her, Anna reveals that he still has to free many more lost sheep. Later, they visit a church where Sebastian makes a confession. He expresses regret to God for lying to the people. What adds to the confusion is his labeling of the killings as an act of salvation. Following the confession, Sebastian gazes at the ceiling. The painting appears to come to life, spreading its wings and revealing eyes. Wearing their goggles, the duo embarks on a quest to find their next victim. They come across a wrecked bus with people hanging on its side. One is still clinging to life. Sebastian engages in a conversation with him. They both praise the creatures, referring to them as angels. Later, the man takes his own life. A luminous light ascends, merging with the skies above. Sebastian then closes his eyes and begins searching for his next prey. He peers through his binoculars and spots a woman entering a pharmacy. Slowly, he moves towards her, preparing to strike at the opportune moment, but he accidentally steps on broken glass, creating a noise. Claire inquires about anyone nearby, but Sebastian remains silent. As he continues moving towards her, he's unexpectedly attacked by two dogs. Accompanied by them are Rafa and Octavio, who question Sebastian's suspicious approach. Sebastian feigns victimhood, gaining Claire's sympathies. However, Rafa remains skeptical. Upon discovering Sebastian's knowledge of the generators, he agrees to assist. Suddenly, the wind intensifies, signaling the entity's arrival. They quickly escape from the place, each tied by a rope. They make their way to the group's refuge, a war-era bomb shelter. Rafa remains uncertain about trusting Sebastian. He checks Sebastian's eyes for signs of the entity's influence. Noticing stitches on Sebastian's forehead, Rafa presses for the backstory. Learning that Sebastian is the sole survivor of a recent attack deepens Rafa's suspicions about him. To cut to the chase, Rafa hands the map to Sebastian, demanding the generator locations. Realizing he can't target everyone with the generator story, Sebastian confesses to fabricating it to grab their attention. Enraged, Rafa starts hitting him for his deception. Claire intervenes to stop the violence, frustrating Rafa further. He believes they shouldn't trust him after his lie is confirmed. Amidst the chaos, another girl, Sophia, tries to prevent Rafa from harming Sebastian. However, her efforts remain unheard as she speaks in German, a language unfamiliar to the group. Seizing the opportunity, Sebastian steps in and converses with Sophia in German. Serving as her translator, he manages to force Rafa to accept his presence among them. Sophia then shares her backstory, recounting how she got separated from her mother in a crowded place. Notably, Sophia and her mother were en route to a mountain refuge, believed to be free from the creatures. When asked, Sophia sketches the location with a castle and an aerial tramway. Isabel and her stubborn husband, Roberto, suspect that the place Sophia mentions is across town. To evacuate the bomb shelter, Sebastian suggests heading to the safe place. Despite his dislike for Sebastian, Rafa sees the merit in the idea, considering their current location as a slow suicide. To make the decision, they put it to a vote. Initially hesitant, Roberto eventually yields to the majority. It is agreed that they'll seek refuge at the safe house Sophia described. Wearing their blindfolds, they venture outside. They use letters to determine their current location. At night, they take refuge in a building, where Sebastian sees a reflection of his own daughter and Sophia. When everyone is asleep, Sebastian approaches Rafa and cuts his dog's strap halfway. The next day, as they set out once more, the dogs begin barking frantically due to the presence of the entity. Voices of lost loved ones or deep fears haunt everyone. The dog's continuous barking causes it to break free from its strap, sending Rafa into a panicked search. Removing his blindfold, Rafa falls under the entity's influence. While Sebastian stands there watching their miseries, Rafa tragically takes his own life by smashing his head against a car's window. Amidst the chaos, one of the dogs bites Roberto's hand as he tries to control them. Meanwhile, Octavio finds a hiding spot and signals the couple with a whistle. Seeing the group is still alive, Sebastian puts on his goggles again and joins them in the building. As everyone shares their experiences of hearing voices, Octavio proposes a theory. He explains these entities might be quantum beings, capable of altering their forms based on people's fears, griefs, and even pain. During the night, Sebastian notices Sophia crying alone and offers her Anna's pendant to comfort her. Later, Claire discusses with him how these mysterious beings manipulate them by exploiting their grief. Their conversation is interrupted by Robert's worsening health due to the dog bite. Claire, Octavio, and Sebastian, wearing blindfolds, set out to search for antibiotics. While exploring the building, Sebastian glimpses Anna in a room with an open window. When Octavio questions Sebastian about the room's security, Anna commands him to remain silent. As Octavio removes his blindfold, his eyes transform due to the entity's presence. He tragically takes his own life by stabbing himself repeatedly in the abdomen, but this time, Sebastian sees no light. Meanwhile, Claire discovers antibiotic cream. As she joins Sebastian in the room, Anna instructs her father to have Claire remove her blindfold. Still reeling from Octavio's death, Sebastian struggles to betray Claire. Acting swiftly, he escorts Claire out of the apartment. Upon their return, Anna asks Sebastian why he didn't remove Claire's blindfold. Shocked, Sebastian explains that he didn't see any light emanating from Octavio upon his death. It's then that Anna informs her father that he's losing his faith, suggesting that's why he's unable to perceive things as he once did. The next day, the remaining group sets out in search of a safe place. Suddenly, a biker appears, halting their progress. Sebastian, who can see the biker, attempts to protect his companions. He is now striving to save them rather than letting them die. Roberto is unable to move due to his worsening condition. As the biker advances, the couple surrenders to their fate. They remove their blindfolds to share a final moment together. However, Sebastian guides Anna and Claire into a building where they might find safety. Preceding Sebastian's flawless actions while blindfolded, Claire inspects his goggles. To her shock, she discovers that the goggles are see-through. Sebastian tries to defend himself, but Claire is convinced that someone intending harm wouldn't think of helping them. In a desperate move, Claire takes Sophia to the rooftop, where she falls onto an unfinished structure, rendering her unconscious. This leaves Sebastian alone with Sophia. Hesitant, he attempts to remove her blindfold but cannot muster the courage to do so. It becomes evident that it's not Anna but the entity assuming her form, attempting to manipulate Sebastian once more. However, this time, Sebastian overlooks his bleeding daughter and embraces Sophia. Afterwards, he rescues Claire and helps her recognize the change in himself. Initially hesitant, Claire acknowledges Sebastian's assistance and decides to trust him once again. As they attempt to leave, they encounter another person influenced, like Sebastian, blocking their way. A struggle ensues between the two, ending in Sebastian pushing the woman away. Subsequently, he finds a car and drives Anna and Claire towards the castle. He is now determined to reach their destination. As some people start chasing them, Sebastian takes a bold move by setting fire to the car's petrol tank with a cloth. The car explodes, allowing Claire and Sophia to escape. Meanwhile, he stays behind to confront the men influenced by the entity. In the ensuing fight, Sebastian uses a steel rod against his assailant. He manages to injure the man but gets injured in the process. While Sebastian fights, Claire ascends the stairs toward the tram. She temporarily removes her blindfold to activate the tram's button to alert those on the other side. She rings a giant bell. She then re-blindfolds herself, relying on her hearing to gauge the tram's arrival. Thinking it's in front of her, she takes a leap and lands safely inside. As Claire catches her breath in relief, Sebastian lies on the ground, breathing his last. Though manipulated by his grief, he ultimately succeeded by embracing the truth and standing by it, even in his final moments. As the tram reaches the other side, soldiers take the duo into the castle, where Sophia reunites with her mother. Claire undergoes a comprehensive examination and discovers that the military refers to individuals like Sebastian as seers. The story concludes with Claire learning that the military aims to develop a cure using the seer's DNA as the key to immunity creation. However, when mice are injected with Claire's blood and kept secure, they exhibit erratic behavior. Additionally, the caged bird starts making noises, indicating the entity